$90 and 1 carat studs just $3.99. All guaranteed to appraise for double. The Jewelry Exchange Bethesda.
Good morning, America. Flooding emergency. Towns across the Midwest underwater right now. Rivers rising, drowning homes, and at least a dozen tornadoes ripping through the heartland. Now another dangerous storm targeting the flood zone.
Students and teachers return to Marjory Stoneman Douglas High for the first time since the massacre, as the sheriff faces mounting questions and calls for his job.
An ABC News exclusive. The mother whose life changed in an instant when a 3,000-pound tree fell on top of her and her young children in Central Park. Now she's telling her story for the first time.
It's scary. They were little. I just am worried about them.
As she prepares to file a $200 million lawsuit.
Fire on a plane. The terrifying moment a carry-on burst into flames in the overhead compartment. A passenger and flight attendant scrambling to put out the blaze. In Lisa Marie Presley's shocking claim, Elvis's daughter now saying nearly all of her $100 million inheritance is gone. Where did it all go?
And good morning, America. We hope you had a good weekend. You know, they needed some good news down at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High, and they got it over the weekend. Check it out there. That is the hockey team.
Oh, boy.
For the high school, they won the state championship on Sunday.
It's pretty amazing after all that they've gone through. And there's so much excitement there. They were the underdogs in the tournament. They came back to win it all. And one of the students said, now we're going to bring the trophy back to the best high school in America. And a lot of the guys, a lot of the hockey players dyed their hair blonde and honor one of the classmates that they lost.
Inspirational story there.
Yeah. We're going to have more on that ahead. But first, we're going to begin with that dangerous weather stretching from Texas to the Ohio Valley. At least 12 tornadoes touching down in 4 states, including Kentucky, and those rising rivers leading to rescues. ABC's Marcus Moore starts us off in Paducah, Kentucky, where the governor has declared a state of emergency there. Good morning, Marcus.
Robin, good morning. That is right. And also the mayor of Paducah has declared a state of emergency because of the rising river. They want to protect the homes and businesses in the city, and this is what they have done. They have put in these massive floodgates here along the flood wall. This is the first time they've done this in 7 years. Overnight, crews in Kentucky working to put up the last of several new floodgates as the river continues its swift rise. The swollen rivers across the region submerging people's homes, forcing evacuations and rescues. More than 100 water rescues in Kentucky alone. The flooding from a nearby river leaving this Ohio home waterlocked. At least a dozen confirmed twisters touching down across 4 states. Tornado warnings sounding the alarm.
You've got a house that completely has collapsed on itself.
We've heard, glass shattering, and it blew out a couple of these posts here on the porch and, drove them through the house.
But the complete devastation at some homes on full display this morning.
We was all scared. We didn't know what to do, so we were just, hunkering down and getting everybody safe until we could find out what was going on.
Certainly your heart goes out to them as they are looking through what's left, the rubble of what was once a home.
Buildings left ripped apart, homes shredded and destroyed. In some cases, only the cement foundations remain.
You can see a door right there as well in that pond.
And in Arkansas, parts of the roof of this motel torn away. At least 4 people are dead, including 3 in Kentucky, where the governor has declared a state of emergency. And back here in Paducah, the main concern is how quickly the river is rising. That's why these floodgates are in place, and they'll be here until the river starts to go back down. But Robin, it is not expected to crest until Wednesday.
That's right. Okay, Marcus, those concerns about rivers flooding will last most of this week, and another storm is on the way. Rob is tracking the latest. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, good morning, Robin. Unfortunately, we do have more storms lined up. This one in the south will track mostly to the south, but the damage done here in Louisville, the wettest February on record, and the Ohio expected to crest there later on today. The problem is we also have rivers north of there that are still in flood stage, major flood stage, record flood stage, as a matter of fact, for the Kankakee River. And all this water needs to flow downstream into the Gulf of Mexico, so the Mississippi is not going to crest till later on this week and really last right on through next week. And here's our next system that's going to come, not tomorrow, But on Wednesday, and it will bring another round of rain, severe storms as well, another 4 to 5 inches over those areas that are still flooded. Northeast storm coming this weekend, too. We'll talk more about that in just a few.
You got it, Rob. Thank you.
Okay, Rob, we're going to go down to Washington, where President Trump is holding his annual meeting with the nation's governors. At last night's ball, he said the Parkland shooting will be the first topic they discuss. Our senior White House correspondent, Cecilia Vega, has the latest on what the president is proposing. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, George, good morning to you. That meeting with the governors happens here in just a few hours. But this morning, the president seems to be at odds with the NRA over this idea of raising the minimum age to purchase long guns. They are opposed to that idea, even though President Trump says they will end up backing it. At a black tie gala overnight, President Trump told the nation's governors school safety is a top priority.
We'll be talking about Parkland and the horrible event that took place last week. I think we'll make that first on our list.
Among his ideas, a proposal to train and arm potentially hundreds of thousands of educators. And over the weekend, the president told Fox News, had teachers in Parkland, Florida been armed, there would have been more survivors.
Most of the people would be a whole different story.
But Florida's own governor, now among those flatly rejecting the idea.
I want our teachers to teach, and I want our law enforcement officers to be able to protect the students. I want each group to focus on what they're good at.
And this morning, the nation's most powerful gun lobby faces growing backlash. At least 16 companies like Delta Airlines, MetLife Insurance, and Wyndham Hotels now say they cut ties with the NRA and ended discount programs. The group is standing firm in its opposition to raising the minimum age from 18 to 21 to purchase semi-automatic weapons like the one used in Parkland, something President Trump says he would consider.
Perhaps we'll do something on age, because it doesn't seem to make sense that you have to wait till you're 21 years old to get a pistol. But to get a gun like this maniac used in the school, you get that at 18. I mean, that doesn't make sense. And frankly, I explained that to the NRA.
But the NRA says that plan is far from a done deal.
I know that people are trying to find daylight between President Trump and 5 million law-abiding gun owners and law-abiding gun owners all across the United States. These are just things that he's discussing right now. So far, nothing's been proposed yet.
Well, about arming America's teachers, even the president's own daughter, Ivanka Trump, says she's not sure whether this is a good idea. She was asked if guns in schools would make America's children safer. She said, quote, honestly, I don't know. There would have to be an incredibly high standard for who could bear arms in schools, George.
Not a lot of traction behind that proposal. Meantime, over the weekend, we also learned that the feud between the president and Mexico over that border wall is broken out.
Yeah, it turns out there was a very testy phone call between President Trump and Mexico's Enrique Peña Nieto. That phone call took place last week. They were supposed to set up a visit to Washington for Peña Nieto, but a senior administration official tells us that the president went off script and brought up that border wall. Enrique Peña Nieto stuck to his script saying Mexico is not going to pay for it. By the end of that phone call, that visit was not happening, George.
Yeah, I mean, no visit if there's no paying for the wall. Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much, Michael.
Thank you, George. As the White House and Congress face pressure to act on gun control, students and families are preparing to return to Stoneman Douglas, allowed inside the school for the first time since the shooting. And while they are trying to recover, calls are growing for the sheriff to resign. ABC's Victor Kendo has more from Parkland. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Michael. The sheriff has made it very clear he is not going anywhere. This morning, teachers and faculty making their way back here to campus as they get ready for classes to resume on Wednesday. But for those students, it was an emotional return.
We're almost there. We're gonna get you in.
New this morning, an inside look. Students returning to Stoneman Douglas High School for a special orientation Sunday, sharing this video with ABC News, walking through that familiar campus under uncommon circumstances.
Coming back to where everything occurred, it's just scary.
It was their first time back on school grounds since the massacre that left 17 dead nearly 2 weeks ago.
I cannot stop looking at that building. I cannot stop imagining what was going on inside that building. It tears me up inside.
Florida Governor Rick Scott now calling for the state's Department of Law Enforcement to launch an investigation into the shooting response. The Broward Sheriff's Office saying they'll cooperate. Meanwhile, 74 GOP state lawmakers sent a letter to Governor Scott urging him to suspend Sheriff Scott Israel, who's a Democrat, accusing him and his department of ignoring repeated warning signs about suspected shooter Nicholas Cruz. Despite the mounting questions, the sheriff telling CNN he's not going anywhere.
It was a shameful, politically motivated letter that had no facts, and of course I won't resign.
But in the face of so much heartache and loss, a huge win and some much-needed uplifting news for the Parkland community. The Stoneman Douglas Eagles hockey team coming from behind to win the state championship Sunday.
We just came out, played hard, gave it everything we got. This wasn't for us. This was for the 17 victims. We played for them. So passionate, so emotional. It's all for them.
The team is now heading to a national tournament, but listen to what they did when they actually got back here to campus. They took their medals that they won yesterday and they actually placed them around the crosses for each of the victims here at the Growing Memorial outside of Stoneman Douglas. Michael?
Victor, amazing gesture by those hockey players there. And there are claims, Victor, from the Coral Springs police officers that when they arrived on the scene, several Broward County sheriff's deputies did not enter the building or would not enter the building.
Well, Sheriff Israel told CNN that as of right now, he's only seen one deputy who did not take action, and that was the school resource deputy, Scott Peterson. The sheriff told me that if he finds any wrongdoing in this investigation on behalf of any other deputies, he'll deal with them the same way he dealt with Peterson. Michael?
All right, thank you so much, Victor and George.
Okay, Michael, they are back to school in Florida. Congress back to work in Washington today, facing growing calls to act against gun violence. I want to bring in our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, on Capitol Hill. And Mary, on any gun control issues, the GOP leaders in Congress right now have been pretty quiet.
George, Republican leaders have been notably largely silent. Look, right now, despite the tremendous political pressure, all of these growing calls to act, once again, Congress right now appears poised to do nothing. There are plenty of options on the table, including improving background checks or banning bump stocks, but there is no clear consensus right now and no votes are on the schedule. Look, Republican leaders are likely to be very hesitant to do anything that puts them at odds with the NRA or many of their constituents unless it is clear, unless they're certain they have the backing of the president. And while the president has thrown out many ideas, including raising the age to purchase these assault-style weapons, maybe arming trained teachers, there are still questions about what legislation he would definitely be on board with. And George, Congress is not likely going to act here unless they are certain that the president is going to lead the charge.
And even that might not be enough. Okay, Mary. Meantime, on Saturday, we saw the release of this Democratic memo, which rebuts claims from the president and other Republicans that somehow the surveillance of some people connected to his campaign was tainted.
Yeah, Democrats have now released their long-awaited version of this memo. It's a heavily redacted document that they say debunks the Republicans' claims that the FBI and DOJ abused government surveillance powers when they were spying on a former Trump campaign advisor. This all comes from the House Intelligence Committee, traditionally a bipartisan panel, but George, they have been struggling to conduct their work amid this increasingly partisan sniping.
It's about as divided as you can get. Mary Bruce, thanks very much. Robin?
Right there. We're going to turn now, George, to the end of the Winter Games. Norway taking home a record 39 medals, followed by Germany, Canada, and the United States in fourth. With 23 total medals, 9 of them gold. Our senior national correspondent, Matt Gutman, there in South Korea for all the excitement and the spectacular closing ceremony. Matt, that ceremony also put America's relationship with North Korea in the spotlight.
It certainly did, Robin. There was almost a dizzying array of diplomacy happening during those closing ceremonies. Probably as many security personnel there as spectators. But first, of course, all that pomp and pageantry. There were drones, there were pandas, and of course, a K-pop band. And then came the athletes, the American team led by flag bearer Jesse Diggins. And of course, watching it all, Ivanka Trump just an arm's length away from North Korea's spy chief. And just moments after they settled down, an announcement came from North Korea, from Kim Jong-un, calling these tough new sanctions against North Korea an act of war. And then startlingly, just minutes after that, another announcement from North Korea suggesting that it would be willing to have its delegation on the ground talk to the American delegation. Now, the White House said Ivanka Trump did not meet with any North Koreans and said that any talks would have to lead to North Korea abandoning its nuclear program, Robin.
But wait, there's more intrigue at the games involving Russia, Matt?
Right. South Korean officials believe that Russian cyber spies hacked the Olympic websites. Thousands of cyber attacks during the games, making it very difficult for folks to print out tickets during the opening ceremony, putting that Olympic website on the fritz. Officials also believe that those Russians made it look like the North Koreans did it. It's called a false flag operation. Now, analysts tell us they believe all of this was payback against the Olympic Committee for banning Russia's participation officially in these games over this ongoing doping scandal. Robin.
All right, Matt, safe journey back home. Thank you. Michael?
Thank you, Robin. We turn to that frightening video on a flight overseas. A carry-on bag burst into flames inside the overhead bin of this Chinese airline. The flight crew threw water and juice at the fire, which broke out as people were boarding. It was apparently caused by a passenger's portable charger, most likely powered by lithium-ion battery. Last thing you think about, you put your phone up there, you throw that up there, and next thing you know, it's fire on the plane.
They did act quickly there. Back here at home, crews are cleaning up from a deadly avalanche in Washington State. It swept up a group of 5 snowmobilers. One was killed, others injured. ABC's Kana Whitworth has the story. Good morning, Kana.
Hey, George, good morning. This is a scary deal here. 2 separate avalanches, killing one and trapping 65 people in their homes over the weekend in Washington State. So right now, crews are working to clear the roads at Crystal Springs Snow Park outside Seattle after an avalanche killed a 32-year-old man. He was with a group of 5 snowmobilers. They had stopped for lunch at the base of the slope when that wall of snow came crashing down. And we have pictures there. They were taken as this sudden rush of snow just buried right there, those 2 snowmobiles. Now, the area was actually in an avalanche warning, so heavy snowfall over the weekend made mountainsides throughout the region vulnerable to avalanches. We have one captured on video, 25 to 30-foot wall of snow piling over the road. That one there trapping those people in their homes. So right now, conditions are considered extremely hazardous. And this morning, authorities are warning everyone to be aware of avalanche danger. George?
That is remarkable video. Okay, Kana, thanks very much.
So fast.
Yeah, amazing to see that. Now to that startling claim from Lisa Marie Presley, the daughter of Elvis, saying nearly all of her $100 million inheritance is gone. Now she's suing her former manager, and TJ Holmes is here with the story. Good morning.
And straight, she is music royalty in this country, right? She is the sole heir to the guy we call the king. And as sole heir, she was the sole person to inherit his $100 million fortune. She got it when she was 25 back in 1993. It's worth $100 million. Now, she says it has $14,000 left in that trust. How did we get here? Well, she sold 85% of her interest in Elvis Presley Enterprises in 2005, 85%. So she doesn't own the majority of his likeness, his image, and a lot of his music and a lot of things. She got $100 million in that sale. Well, her former business manager, a man by the name of Barry Siegel, said mismanaged her money, her fortune, made a bad investment that went bankrupt, and now she only has 14 grand left in that trust at this point. It's unfortunate we see these stories too often of dead musicians.
Unbelievable.
He's one that still makes a lot of money, makes it on that top list of dead celebrities making money.
I would think even 15%, if she still has it, would be a fair amount of money now.
You would think so, but most of the money, 35 to 45 million, comes from Graceland, right? His music, he didn't own the rights to most of his music, guys. So a lot of that money is not coming in that you would expect to be coming in.
Okay.
Wow. All right, TJ, thank you.
Guys.
Now back to Rob with the storm coming to the Northeast later this week, Rob?
That's right, Robin. It's the same storm we mentioned earlier that's going to bring more rain, excuse me, across the Tennessee Valley and the Ohio River Valley. The areas obviously that don't need it, maybe some severe storms too. But Thursday, Friday, it develops into a coastal low, and it could be a mess Friday into Saturday with wind, coastal flooding, maybe some snow mixed in here. This is a strong storm we've seen really across the Northeast coast in a couple of weeks. So we'll be discussing that for sure. Time now for your Select Cities, brought to you by Sensodyne Pro Enamel.
Enamel is the strong white outer layer of your tooth surface. The thing that's really important to dentists is to make sure that that enamel stays strong and resilient for a lifetime. The more that we can strengthen and reharden that tooth surface, the whiter their patient's teeth are going to be. Dentists are going to really want to recommend Pro Enamel Strong and Bright. It helps to strengthen and reharden the enamel. It also has stain lifting action. It's going to give their patients the protection that they need and the whiter teeth that they want.
Afternoon sunshine in our forecast for today. Finally, some sun. Well, our temperatures start out mild and we'll get into the mid-50s this afternoon. But check out Tuesday and Wednesday. 59, 62 degrees. Tomorrow, that 59 comes with a whole lot of sunshine across the area. Rain moves in late Wednesday, but we'll have some cloud cover around. And then most of our rain will be Thursday, Friday. But I'm loving this next weekend. First weekend of March. Temperatures will be close to 50 degrees, and it's going to be dry and sunny.
Coming up, that $200 million lawsuit, the mother crushed by a falling tree in New York Central Park. She's telling her story only here on GMA.
And you might want to check out your Instant Pot. Some people say their models are melting. We're going to tell you how to know if yours is at risk. That's all coming up right here on GMA.
Hi, I'm Bob Harper, and I recently had a heart attack. It changed my life.